Good morning, yogis. It's such a great thing to have this time to share yoga together, this beautiful meditation on the body. Come to whatever posture feels right for you this morning. It might be seated, it might be lying down. As always, you might have a blanket for yourself to either sit on or cover up with. You might have a yoga brick for your use, but it's okay if you don't have those things. You're just going to get really comfortable right now and let your eyelids close. Let all the little muscles around the eyes relax. Let your jaw relax. Let the tops of your shoulders relax. And then, like a pebble being dropped into a pond, let your awareness drop down deep into your body. And just feel the sensations of being and breathing. Let your awareness travel down into your feet and relax your feet. Release any tension there. Let your awareness travel up into your hands and release any tension in your hands. Let your awareness travel up to what we call in yoga the third eye. It's the sixth chakra, and it's that little spot in your forehead, right in the center of your forehead. Let that relax. Feel it soften and smooth. Today's yoga practice is going to focus just a little bit on that sixth chakra, the place of our intuition. So allow yourself to just rest comfortably there. With your next inhale, lift your hands palm to palm in Anjali Mudra in front of your lifted heart. Take a moment to set your intention for your practice this morning. What is it you would like to shine the light of your awareness on? Acknowledge that to yourself and repeat it to yourself. And then let it rest in your heart for our shared practice this morning. When you feel complete with that thought, keeping your eyelids closed, take your hands down, rest them gently. Let the spine feel nice and long with all its beautiful natural curves. And take one slow, deep cycle of breath, a full inhale, and then a very complete exhale. And then we're going to meet in downward facing dog. So you can put your brick, if you're using one, to the side. You can move your blanket out of the way. Stretch out into plank pose as a way of coming into down dog. Lift up into downward facing dog. Stretch your heels to the earth as you press your fingertips gently into your mat. Pull the belly button up and let the head simply hang between your biceps. And then begin a little bit of pedaling. And if at any point this becomes a little too demanding for your body, put your knees down. Sometimes the shoulders or the wrists get a little tired with a lot of holding in down dog. And as you pedal, begin moving the hips a little bit. But again, the head simply hangs. So moving the hips. And then swing out into plank pose. Inhale, knees can go up or down. Exhale to lower. Sweep up into Bhujangasana, cobra pose. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Press your 10 fingertips into the mat. Pull back isometrically so the heart has a chance to soar. As you exhale, reach back deeply, child's pose. And let the third eye come down to the mat. Once you're there and comfortably in child's, and you might have a little lift because sometimes knees don't want to be in such deep flexion, but do what's right for your body. Lift up onto fingertips. So there's space between your palms and the mat. And then once more, we're going to come out into plank pose. Inhale and plank nice and long and strong. Exhale to lower. Your knees might be down. That's perfectly legitimate. Inhale, lift up, Bhujangasana. Again, we're practicing on releasing the shoulders, letting the third eye, that spot in the forehead, reach skyward. It will open the throat and open the heart. Pull back isometrically. Exhale, child's pose. Once more. Let the forehead come down. If you liked the feeling of lifting up onto fingertips, do that. If you feel like you want to stretch your arms back so that your thumbs rest alongside your feet, do that. Whatever feels right in your body. Now inhale, come into plank, and then exhale, lower. Inhale, sweep up, Bhujangasana. Roll the shoulders. Get long in the spine as you lift the forehead skyward. And last time, child's pose, taking whatever variation you would like. Third eye rests on the earth. And then we're going to come up into dolphin. So interlace your hands, turn your toes under, and lift your hips nice and high. Head hangs between the biceps. Walk in a little bit if you'd like deeper core engagement. So the wrists are getting a bit of a break here. The core is getting a little more action. And the heels, the Achilles, the calf muscles are all stretching gently towards the earth. Take one more breath here. And then we'll set the knees down. And I'd like you to come into rabbit. So bring your knees and the inner edges of your feet to touch. Sit back at your heels. This time palms cup open. Head down, third eye down. Relax the shoulders. And then lift the hips gently until you feel a little tug in the spine. A little releasing. And then come back down. We're going to come back into down dog through plank pose, down dog. Step your feet a little closer to each other, but still sliding the heels down, still engaging the 10 fingertips. Lift the left leg high, bend the knee, flex the ankle, pivot the left knee skyward. Lifting and opening as the head hangs. Left leg down, right leg sweeps up, bend the knee, flex the ankle, and a little pivot in the hips, pointing the knee up, and then bringing that foot down. And then you're going to walk your hands back towards your feet. Forward fold at the back of your mat. Once you're in forward fold, capture opposite elbow, let the head hang, and swing around. See if you can make kind of a big arc with your swinging. And then as you cup the elbows, you're going to roll up slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, and you're going to let the head and arms be the last bit of you to come all the way up to standing. And then you're going to walk your fingertips down your triceps just a little bit. Relax the shoulders and pull up on the triceps. Nice little stretch. And release. Go nice and slow, yogis. Don't try hard, try easy. Inhale, we lift up. And exhale, we dive deep. Inhale, lift the crown of the head halfway. Pause here. Take the tip of the tailbone back. Stretch the crown of the head and the forehead forward. Exhale, deep bow. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Swing on up. Exhale, heart center. One more sunburst together with our breathing. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, we dive deep. Inhale, we lift halfway, and exhale, deep bow. Inhale, reverse swan dive, swing up, exhale, heart center. Close your eyes here. Feel the soles of the feet on the earth. Feel the length of your body stretching up towards the sky, a big band of energy between earth and sky. And then notice the third eye, that place in the forehead, the deep place of our inner knowing and intuition. And open your eyes and release. And you're going to take your left leg behind your right, just onto the ball of your foot. And you're going to swing up and clasp your left wrist and glide to the right. Let the forehead drift up towards the sky and release. Other side, swing the right foot behind the left. Reach up for the right wrist, peel over to the left, and then let the forehead look skyward. And release. And then you're going to take your feet to the edges of your mat. We're going to come around behind. Now, one traditional version of this posture is to interlace the hands and pull back. Or, if you'd like to, you can work into reverse namaste, letting your pinkies kind of snake up your spine. So, feet wide, do what you'd like with your hands, what feels good to you. And then you're going to root down through the feet, hug the muscles of your legs to the bones of your legs. Pull your abdominal wall in and lift the heart, open the throat, and let the forehead be lifting up towards the sky, opening up. Close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath. And release. Go nice and slow. Inhale, we lift up. Exhale, we dive deep. Inhale, lift up halfway. And exhale, bow. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Swing up. Exhale, heart center. Now we're going to come to wide-legged posture. Take a nice wide stance. Inhale, lift. Exhale, float the arms down. Turn the left toes forward and bend your knee. Coming into fearless warrior. Inhale, reach back for reverse warrior. Tip the head back, clasp the wrist, pull back. As you exhale, palms down, fearless warrior. And then you're going to hinge at the hips. The back of the hand comes inside this shin, reaching up with the right fingertips. You can come up kind of high, you can dive deep, whatever feels right to you. And then push into the feet, come back to fearless warrior. Inhale, lift the arms, straighten the leg. We're coming to the other side. Turn the right toes back, bend the knee, and express length in your arms. Inhale, back, reverse warrior. Clasp your wrist, peel back, ice, and feel this stretch in the rib cage. Exhale, fearless warrior, palms down. Express length in your arms. Take up lots of space here. And then sweep down. The back of the hand brushes somewhere inside the shin. Left arm stretches up. Forehead reveals itself. Opens up. And push on up. Inhale, we lift up together. Exhale, we dive deep together. Inhale, lift up halfway. And exhale, nice deep bow. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Swing up. And exhale, heart center. Close your eyes. Yoga is a meditation on the body. Notice what's happening. And open. Release the hands. So we're going to step our feet to touching here. Sit your hips down. So remember, yogis, we're coming into Utkatasana. When we do Utkatasana, we want to get the most benefit because it's really good for the low back. So scoop your tailbone out like in a little ski jump and then tilt it towards the earth till you feel core engagement. And that's the core supporting the low back. Stay right there and lift and open the arms. As you exhale, take your hands to heart center and swing the tip of your elbow over your thigh bone. Let your palms press together. Get nice and long here through the spine. See if you can sit back just a little bit in the heels. And then open your arms. Let the arms stretch wide open. Take the head back a little bit. And come back to center and stretch on up. We're going to do the other side. So again, feet are touching at the top, little gap between the heels, so long as that feels comfortable to you. If you need a wider stance, do that. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sit down. Move the tailbone back and then curl it towards the earth. Hands to heart center. Bring your elbow across the opposite thigh. Turn. Get long in the spine. And eventually, when the time feels right to you, open your arms and let the head roll back just a little bit. Come back to center. Stretch on up. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bow. And then crab walk up and down your mat as needed to come into plank pose. And pause here, get long. Stretch the heels back, stretch the collarbones forward, belly button up. We're going to lower, so bring your knees down if that's the preferred variation for you. And with your next exhale, lower down. Inhale, sweep up into Bhujangasana. Exhale, roll over your toes into down dog. And take a couple of deep cleansing breaths here. If you want to pedal your knees, go ahead. Nice big steps with the heels to stretch the Achilles, letting the head simply hang. And then you're going to come to center, come back out into plank pose. We're going to come into side plank here. So spin over onto the outer edge of your left foot. Stack your right foot up on top of your left, or step your foot out on your mat as a little bit of extra support. Either way, we're going to lift the top arm and maybe stretch it over the ear, getting nice and long here. And again, we want to open up the third eye. We want to tap into intuition. So notice that part of the body here. And then come down. We're going to do the other side. So come with your plank pose, long, strong plank. You're going to roll to the outside edge of the other foot. And maybe you'll step your foot up, or maybe you'll stack it. You're going to lift your arms straight up. It really helps to power up through the bottom hip. And once you're there, then you can open up and let the heart, throat, and intuition all be part of the pose. And then release. And set your knees down. We're going to walk the knees up towards the wrists, crossing at the heels, roll over. So take your hands back behind you. Let your fingertips point out towards the sides of your mat. If you can point your fingertips back without any difficulty, you could do that too. Either way, whatever's best for your shoulders and wrists. You're going to point your toes down the mat. We don't often point our toes in yoga, but for this pose, we do. We're going to roll the shoulders back to lift and open the heart, let the head come back. Now this might be enough for you. It feels really good to stretch the front of the chest, but if you'd like to add a little more power, push into your heels and your hands and lift up, letting the third eye roll back. And then sit down. Scooch around. We're going to come back up to standing. So Find yourself back in plank pose. Lift up into down dog. Take a nice deep breath in downward facing dog. And then step to the center of your mat. Walk your hands back. Now, once you're here, take your hands to your hips, hang your head, point your elbows up at the ceiling, and reach back into your heels a little bit. Press the heels into the earth to come on up to standing. We're going to do a balance pose this morning called Dancer. One of the things about Dancer is we want to roll our arm bone back. So for those of you who've taken a lot of yoga classes with me, you know how I talk about this pose. It's like you're hitchhiking, right? Point your thumb back. Use one leg to stand on. Take a hold of the opposite foot, the inner edge, and lift your arm up. When you're ready for movement, you're going to hinge at your hips and find length. Get nice and long in the pose. And bend your standing knee to come out. We'll do the other side. So standing on the other foot, roll the shoulder back, right? Like a hitchhiking motion. Clasping the inner edge of that foot. You're going to lift your arm nice and high. And then when you're ready, hinge and express lift and length. Bend your standing knee when you're ready to come out of posture. Inhale, lift, and exhale, bow. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, bow. Inhale, reverse swan dive, swing up, and exhale, heart center. We're going to come into eagle pose, another balance pose. So if you have a brick, sometimes people like to balance with a brick for eagle. So you can come around and put your toe on the brick. Otherwise, you can do it without a brick. You can do toe up, toe down, or toe around. Sit nice and low. And then as you sink down towards the earth, at the same time, express your eagle wings and let your third eye feel nice and open. And then wingtips over heart center. Other side. Open up the sole of the foot so it feels nice and sturdy and steady. Bring your brick over if you're using it. Otherwise, toe up, toe down, or toe around. As you sit down, let your heart and your third eye open. And release. Inhale, we lift up. Exhale, we dive deep. Inhale, lift up halfway. And exhale, deep bow. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Swing on up. Exhale, heart center. Take a nice deep cleansing breath. Rooting down, rising up. This posture is called Samastiti, and it's such a beautiful yoga posture. We get to really experience our own energy here. You can close your eyes if you'd like and just feel yourself connected so deeply to the earth. And at the very same time, we're reaching up through the head and the heart towards the sky. That connecting energy, right? Connecting downward and connecting up and out. With that spirit in mind, let's take the feet nice and wide. Again, toes point forward. Rooting down, hug the muscles of your legs to the bones. Pull the abdomen in. Reach up. Inhale, lift. Exhale, deep bow. Inhale, lift halfway, and exhale, bow. Inhale, reverse swan dive up. Exhale, sweep over the left side of the body. So come into a nice deep fold, whatever that is for you. For those of you who feel like you can really dive into the pose, you might want to stick your fingertips under the arch of your foot. Let's see if we can look up a little bit with the third eye. right leg. And maybe the fingertips go underneath the arch of the foot. See about spinning the head to look up a little bit over that right shoulder. Sit back in the heels to push on up to center. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, deep bow. Now, when you get into your deep bow, if you want to separate your feet further, go ahead. Again, you might want to use your brick as a way of getting the crown of your head onto the mat. But you could also just take it in whatever shape feels right to you. Now you're going to pull up on the energy of the legs. See if you can, as your upper body dips down, see if the energy of your legs can pull up. And sit into the heels and the outer edges of the feet and come on up. And then you're going to step your feet together. Inhale, we lift up. Exhale, we dive deep. And stretch out into plank pose. Inhale and plank. And exhale, lower. Inhale, lift up. Bhujangasana. Roll the shoulders down. Press the 10 fingertips in. Pull back isometrically. As you exhale, go into either child's or dolphin or downward facing dog. And lift the hips nice and high in down dog or dolphin, or set the hips back at the heel in child's pose. And take a couple of breaths. And then bring the knees down. You might want a little padding for your knees here. So take a moment to grab your blanket if you'd like. We're going to come out into plank pose and simply set the knees down. And then as you inhale, you're going to lift your toes. They can touch as you press your heart forward. As you exhale, you're going to set the toes down as you push the heart and the third eye back. As you inhale, you're going to swing forward, lifting the head. As you exhale, hips back, third eye down. Inhale. So we're coming almost all the way into Bhujangasana. And then we're coming almost all the way into Child's. But we don't fully arrive at either. We're in constant motion in this posture, moving in and out like a wave. Close your eyes here so that you can fully experience the inner energy of the body, flowing, the prana shakti flowing, lifting the head and heart, and then feeling the head back towards the earth. Take one more round here. And then lift yourself up onto all fours. And we're going to come into a lunge. So again, if you'd like to pad, it's a good time to do that for the knees. We're going to take Anjaneyasana. So I'd like you to step your left foot forward. You may have padding under your right knee. When you step forward, come forward a lot. Inhale, lift. Exhale, drop the hips. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, tap the hands together. Bring the thumbs behind the head and let the third eye roll up to look at the ceiling. And release. Other side, so we're going to bring that left knee in and you're going to step the right foot out a lot. Inhale, lift. Exhale, drop the hips. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, palms touch. Bring the thumbs behind your head and roll your head back. Just a little bit. Third eye looks skyward. And release. We're going to come back back onto all fours. Let the fingertips be spread apart from each other for some barrel rolling. So roll the body in big loopy circles. Close your eyes here, yogis. Imagine you're a big wooden spoon scraping all the last bits of peanut butter out of the jar. And then when you get to the top of your next circle, reverse direction. Going in the opposite direction, rolling around, getting all those last sticky bits of peanut butter out of the jar. And come to center. From here, you're going to walk your knees up towards your wrists, cross your ankles, and come on over to seated. Bring your left heel over by your right hip. If it's too much bend for your knee, stick your leg out straight. Step your right foot across, and then push your 10 fingertips down to sit between your legs, right on the bowl of your body, right? That rounded bowl that you can kind of feel your hips and your pelvis create. And then you're going to let the spine be long. Be conscious of this third eye. It's going to lift and open. Bring your left arm around your knee. Swing your right arm behind you. Lift up. Close your eyes here and turn your chin towards your back shoulder. With your eyelids closed, pull your abdominal wall towards your spine and shift your spine forward like it's moving a little more deeply into your core. And then notice what happens. The prana shakti just bubbles right up into the third eye. As you exhale, unwind. You're going to take your left hand down. You're going to bring your right heel out and lift up and stretch open. Again, third eye pivots towards the sky, rolling the head back. And release. Now the right heel comes to the outer left hip. And the left foot steps across. Put your 10 fingertips down, lift up. If you want to, straighten the bottom leg. It might be more comfortable. Right arm hooks around the knee. You're going to sit up nice and long, swinging your left arm behind you. Pivot your chin towards the back shoulder. Close your eyes. Pull the abdominal wall towards the spine. Shift the spine deeper into the core. And let the prana shakti just bubble right up into the third eye. And unwind. Right hand down. Left leg out. And then you're swinging up and over, letting this arm stretch. And release. From here, come right onto your back body. Lie down here. Lift the legs straight up towards the ceiling. Let the arms come way up overhead. Lengthening the legs, lengthening the arms. And then bring your fingertips behind your knee joint and pull your nose towards your knees. Creating a little, the shape of a seed with your body. And then head down and feet down. We're going to come into bridge pose here. So bring your feet hip width apart, brush the backs of your heels with your fingertips. Step your shoulder blades onto the back of the body. Keep your gaze skyward rather than looking left or right. Press into your heels to lift your hips. Interlace your hands underneath you. You can give a little bit more stepping of the shoulder blades on the back body. And then press into your one heel a little extra and lift the other heel straight up. Take that leg down. Heel presses, leg lifts. And then that leg comes down. Press into both heels to lift the hips. Now pull back on the heels isometrically, as if your heels are going to make little skid marks on your mat as they pull back towards your hands. And then let the arms come out from underneath you and gently roll the spine down from top to bottom. And pause. Step your feet to the edges of your mat. So toes will be on the floor, heels will be on the mat, shoulder blades are behind the rib cage, lift up. Dig in with your heels, interlace your hands. Let the third eye rest very comfortably, very open, very smooth. One more breath here, yogis. And then the hands come away and the spine rolls down. Pause here. Let the back bending be absorbed by all the muscles around the spine and all the architecture of your spine. Reach your arms up overhead and pull the legs straight up once more. So arms are overhead, legs are reaching up towards the ceiling. And then fingertips behind your knee joint, pull your knees in ever so gently. Lift your head up. See if you can get your shoulder blades up off the mat. Roll your feet in one direction and then the other. Head comes down, feet come down. Now slide the soles of your feet to touch and lift your arms up overhead. And then begin taking the elbows down until you get a deep release in the arms and the shoulders. And then you're going to bring your feet to touch. Keeping your arms as they are, wiggle your feet out while your knees touch. And just walk out with your feet as far as you'd like to until you get a nice stretch at your outer hip. And then walk your feet back in. Now what I'd like you to do is roll over onto your left side and bring your arms out. So might be kind of similar to how you woke up this morning. You're going to let your legs be heavy and relaxed. And then you're simply going to lift your right arm up and over to the floor on the other side. But legs stay as they are. Expanding across the front of the chest, letting the arms be long, letting the spine get a nice deep twist. And we're going to do the other side. So lift up. You're going to take your knees off to the side. You're going to let your arm reach over. You can start palm to palm if you'd like. Keeping your knees on the earth, bring the left arm up and over. And expand through your arms, your heart. Let the third eye look up at the ceiling. Very softly. Legs are heavy and grounded. Spine is twisting. And the third eye is just gently looking skyward. And then you're going to pivot and come back to center. Once more, lift the legs straight straight up. Nice long stretch. Fingertips behind the knee joint. Pull the knees in. Pull the third eye up towards the knees. And then let the head come down. Let the feet touch down. If you have a brick, take a hold of it. Put it behind your hips. Lengthen your legs down the mat as you lift your arms up. Nice big stretch through the whole iliopsoas complex. This feels particularly good when we're stretching without weight bearing. Releasing tension. Notice the feeling in the third eye. Very soft and relaxed. Let your awareness drift up to the place behind the forehead bone, right behind the skull, right there. Just soften, relax. And then you're going to let the arms come down and get heavy. Palms open to the ceiling. Walk your feet in and lift your legs straight up towards the ceiling. And get comfortable here. This is so cleansing for the body. Let your arms be heavy, your palms, your fingers. Let your feet feel light as feathers. Let the skull be heavy on the earth, and let the brain sit on the earth at the back of your skull. Forehead feels spacious and open. Stay here just as long as you would like with this sensation of cleansing, the fluids of the body reversing direction, and the heart feeling very open and peaceful. Once you've had as much of this posture as you'd like, you're going to bend your knees, put your feet on the earth, remove your brick, and come into Shavasana. And as you move yourself into Shavasana, you might want to cover up with your blanket or not. Try just a very gentle once or twice rocking motion of the skull so that you can feel just the optimal place to rest in Shavasana. And you're going to stay in Shavasana with your eyelids softly closed just as long as you would like, letting your yoga practice sink into your body, letting your third eye completely relax and rest, our seat of intuition. And I have a crystal bowl here, my chakra bowl for the third eye, and I'm going to ring it a few times as you rest in Shavasana. Get comfortable and relaxed, and let your body be held by the earth, and let your third eye rest. Thank you for joining me in this yoga practice. The light in me shines on and honors the beautiful light in you. Namaste.